What's up?
What's up, guys? We're doing things a little different, so we are bringing you the video portion of our review for First Man live from CR Dizzle if you're in Sacramento. So if you want to come stalk me or you want to kill him,
Yeah.
that's perfectly fine.
I'm
I'm
dressed to
Zenburo.
kill.
He's the Gimpy one.
It's the other way around, but yeah.
Yeah. No, see, I'm the Burro. All right.
No.
So First Man, what is this movie about?
So, First Man is a biopic about Neil Armstrong, the first man who landed on the moon. First American, yeah.
Yeah, we should. Well, I don't even think Yuri Gagarin stepped on the moon at all.
No, I don't think so.
So, yeah, if you don't, dude, okay, so you can't spoil history. It's already been written. So, if you don't know about the moon landing, or if you are one of those people that thinks that Stanley Kubrick faked it, please don't comment.
Yeah, just please.
It's specifically for the conspiracy theory people. If you don't know about the moon landing, please go read about it. It's amazing.
Yeah.
If you're one of those people that think Kubrick faked the moon landing, don't comment on this video. I will not be responding to those comments whatsoever.
Yeah.
Because you're wrong.
Yep.
Period. So, for those of you that don't know, we landed on the moon the summer of 1969.
Yep.
Shortly after President Kennedy died, Nixon ramped up the space program to complete Kennedy's objective. This film focuses on the period leading up to the lunar landing. So, in the film, it starts from about 1962 to 1969.
Yeah.
Even though the space race occurred from a period of 1957 to 1975 officially.
Yeah.
Dude, so I have to start out with this. For a complete experience, please click the link that you'll find in the description when I have time to post it in a few minutes. That's our text review. This is something that we do in addition to that, so please give the text review a look and watch this video and let us know what you think in the comments. And as always, like, comment, and subscribe. I have to start with that because otherwise I'll forget.
Yeah.
So this movie stars Ryan Gosling and Claire Foy primarily, with a bunch of other really great people. I will leave links to IMDB as I always do. So typically, I don't like movies that Claire Foy is in,
yeah.
because her accents are normally horrible.
Yep.
And they distract me and they pull me out of the movie and remind me that I'm watching a movie. So I originally didn't want to see this. I was gonna skip it, even though I enjoy the subject matter. I thought the trailer was interesting, but she almost deterred me from watching.
Yeah.
And you convinced me that we should go see the movie.
Yeah, because I was just going to see it without you.
No.
And you're like, nope, you can't
that was
see
never
a movie
gonna happen.
without me.
as long as I have a say in it, that was never going to happen.
Yeah. So we went to see it.
Yes.
And the way they edited the film, Claire Foy didn't get as much screen time as Ryan Gosling. Gosling, yeah.
So I have to give her credit. Her accent, I still can't tell where the hell she's supposed to be from in the United States, but she worked really hard to at least make that accent stable so I could tune it out.
Yeah.
So because of that, I managed to really enjoy this film. I thought it was amazing, and if you see me looking off to the left, it's because we're waiting for a ride home.
Yeah.
What can I say about this? Ryan Gosling, to me, I know there are a lot of women who are absolutely enthralled with Ryan Gosling. I am a man, and I am not into other men sexually, so that doesn't happen to me. So for me, my point of view on his acting, and good acting in general, is he's one of those people that disappears into his role.
Yep.
And he just made me believe that he was Neil Armstrong. I used to be a really big space nerd, so I knew all about this going in. I knew I had met Buzz Aldrin. They made him a little more of an asshole than I remember. So that was weird for me, because he was actually quite a nice guy. He wasn't anywhere near as confrontational. Maybe he mellowed out with old age. But
Who knows?
Ryan Gosling was excellent. Claire Foy was decent, which is high praise coming from me. The way that they constructed this film, it felt like a piece of art. What can I say? It was like I was watching visual poetry, akin to those awe-inspiring moments that I found in 2001: A Space Odyssey when I watched it in IMAX. Um, and I can see why Kubrick was so inspired by that moment in our history,
Yeah.
and why he wanted to make it feel as real as he possibly could, because seeing it depicted so well inspired me. And it was awesome. You were gonna say something about the scoring in the film in relation to
Um, well, it's strange because throughout a lot of the film there isn't a lot of music until we get to the climactic moon landing, which I thought was pretty cool because it gave it a feeling of triumph, but at the same time, like, it just kind of drifted into this melancholic phase. And this film is pretty melancholy for me.
in general.
Yeah.
No, not just for you, for me too.
Yeah, I kind of wasn't expecting it.
I left the theater feeling like I had met these men
Yep.
and watched their lives either end or crumble depending on who we were talking about.
Yeah.
And I left profoundly sad, but not in that way where I was like, this is horrible. I felt connected to these people as human beings, which is one of the things that I think cinema is so great at.
Yeah.
As he said, there's not a whole lot of score in this movie. It's fairly silent most of the time in terms of music. Whereas normally with movies like this, you expect to hear like big overtures and triumphant, like harmonious sounds, right, to accentuate the victory. But the thing is, this was very human. There isn't much victory in a truly human endeavor, only in mythologized ones. This was not a myth. This was emotional reality here.
Yeah, you achieve your goal, and then what happens after that?
One of the things I wanted to say about this movie that I did not say in the review, we touched on it, but the film opens with some very close-in handheld shots of Neil Armstrong holding his daughter and singing songs and telling her stories of the moon and shit like that. And the way that it was shot made me feel like I was watching this man's home movies. Like I was there with him, holding her and watching her smile and snuggle up to him, and then she dies.
Yeah.
And that becomes, as we've said in our other review of this movie, that becomes his primary impetus for pursuing this wholeheartedly at any cost. And that really got to me.
Same here. I felt kind of like, damn it, why do we pay to see this one today?
But at the same time, but at the same time, I was happy that I did.
Yeah, because I really don't feel that with a lot of movies today.
I know, you're pretty cold. You're a pretty stone cold bitch, huh?
Yeah, but this movie just melted me. I'm like, damn it.
Dude, okay, like he's not the kind of person that cries at movies. This fool cried.
Yeah.
He cried 3 times during this movie. He's gonna say once, but he lies.
No, twice.
3 times. 3 times. One, you did a pretty good job of holding it back, but I still heard you. Dude. You were like, I don't know why my nose is messed up. I'm like, all right, that's fine. By contrast to that opening sequence with him and his daughter, the rest of the cinematography made the film feel colder and more distant. It focused on Neil Armstrong while creating a kind of distance between him and the other characters, which I thought was very interesting and extremely well done.
Yeah.
I cannot honestly praise this movie high enough. There are very few movies that have come out this year where I felt like I was watching true artwork, and this is one of those 3 films that I've seen this year that I think are totally worthy of an Oscar nomination at the very least. One of them should win.
Yeah.
The other 2 are A Star is Born and Black Klansman. This rounds out my top 3. There have not been other films that I think are as worthy of the award as these three films. There are a lot of good movies out there. There are a lot of enjoyable movies that aren't so great. I'm not one of those snobs that's like, everything has to be art or it's not a real film.
Yeah.
No, dude, if you enjoy what you enjoy, then go enjoy it. But I'm just saying, for me, those three films are Oscar worthy. And for me, like, if I had to choose my top two from those three, it's A Star Is Born and First Man.
Yep.
And they're pretty much tied. I can't distinguish it any further. You got anything else you want to say?
You pretty much said everything I was going to say.
So say something.
No, for real. I'm not lying.
Just say something anyway. It doesn't matter.
Well, I will say is that even if you don't believe in the moon landing, this is a great story overall anyway. It's just that just read some books and think about stuff, because I don't think our government would lie to us about that.
They lie about a lot of things, but this is not, in my opinion, one of them.
Yeah, because despite what conspiracy theories tell you, like, we're all just human. Like, the government's manned by humans, so...
Exactly. We're all fallible creatures. We all have emotions. We all have drives, and they complicate our lives.
Yeah, and this film also shows that these people, these heads at NASA, orders from the government, like, they're all given by people, and they're just trying to, at least in this time, it was the Cold War era, so the United States and the Soviet Union were in competition to show, like, which country was the most technologically advanced.
It was a real pissing contest, guys. I'm not exaggerating that.
Yes.
There was no other reason for it.
Yes.
But I'm glad we did it.
Yeah, so First Man shows those political realities accurately.
Another thing that it does is it really makes you understand that these men were doing something just as dangerous. Many of them were civilians. A lot of people in the space program are military pilots, but back then they were looking for anyone qualified.
Yeah.
I mean, they still are, but there are a lot more military pilots than there are civilians that turn astronaut these days. And these civilian dudes were doing something every bit as dangerous and unknown as going on the most dangerous military missions. They didn't even know if any of this technology was going to work properly. And as we know, via the Apollo 13 mission and the Space Shuttle Challenger in the mid-'80s, it's still not refined.
Yeah.
And it's still very dangerous to go in space. And these guys sacrificed their lives so that we would be able to explore space. And it's a pity that NASA does not have the funds that it needs to continue space exploration, especially given the condition we are currently leaving the planet in.
Yeah, that was another sad thing watching this movie.
But I know there are some of you that think climate change is a hoax, and I don't want to touch that because I'll punch you.
Yeah, so those are my 2 cents on this film. So yeah.
So I guess that's about it, guys. And
yeah.
Just like the late great Roger Ebert, who I didn't realize I was stealing from because it's so deeply implanted in my head. We'll see you at the movies.
Yep. See you then.